Hello, Leo. Thank you for watching. My name is Jane, and this is my channel, International Tarot. If you're returning, welcome back. If this is your first time, welcome. Thank you for watching. Each video I do for each sign consists of two readings. The first is a love reading, and the second is a general reading. I do ask that if you are more interested in love, at least stick around for after I draw the cards for the general reading, because sometimes those love energies carry over into the general. And if that's more the area you're interested in, there might be a little bit more information in those generals for you. So here we go. Leo, love reading for January 2016. Queen of Cups, Page of Pentacles, Tower, Ace of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, Six of Cups, Seven of Swords, the World, and the Four of Pentacles. My goodness, got some pretty serious cards going on here. Seeing like a little bit of opposition, to be honest with you. I'm going to start directly in the center with this Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is actually, we'll do both sevens since they're sevens. The sevens are tough energies sometimes. I'm not to start the reading off on a negative note or anything, but they could be a little bit more prominent and more consuming energies. They're tied to the Chariot in the Major Arcana, and the Chariot is, a black and a white beast pulling the Chariot in opposite directions. And it's the difference between, left versus right, up versus down, the spiritual world versus the physical world, the sun versus the moon, the light versus the dark. And it's those internal forces with the swords and the cups, emotions and thoughts. Those internal forces that prevent us from seeing the truth. And this one, the cups, being confusion and sometimes maybe too many options, too many choices, not knowing really which way to go, which choice to make, not really being able to see the outcome or the consequences of those. So a prominent energy for you. And then with the Seven of Swords, I see this card as being a card of self-sabotage. And when you are receiving blessings and you're receiving good things in your life, can you see that? Okay. I have a new little setup here. We're dog sitting, and the dog out in the is outside, and I just thought it would be easier just to do it in my room. So anyway, receiving the blessings, and while we're receiving them, we question them. And we say, why is this happening? Why, or do I truly deserve this? That can be one of the most detrimental questions that we ask is, why do I deserve this? Because the answer, of course, is yes, because you wouldn't be receiving them otherwise. And we continually do this to ourselves at certain points in our lives. We all go through it. And it can create, some blockages for us, some blockages for progression. I'm seeing you here as this Queen of Cups, and just as she came out, it's interesting how she's looking outwards and looking away from the reading, and she's disengaged with the other characters and the other elements that are happening here. And being directly in line with the Seven of Swords. And the Seven of Swords, while looking in, is running in the opposite direction. Again, that idea of duality is looking one direction and going the other. And here you are, in a love reading, emotionally perhaps disengaged a little bit. And here is someone, perhaps someone new, or perhaps if you're in a relationship, perhaps an offering from your significant other, an offering of maybe like really trying to share his world. And I say his because it's a boy in the picture, but their world, male or female, again, male or female. And your backs are turned to one another, but this character still maybe a little bit more open because it's at least, you know, I don't know, it just seems to be a little bit more open to me. And because it is a page, and pages are willing to try new things, to experiment, they're a little bit more curious types of energies, and they're very genuine of heart, genuine of purpose. There's not a lot of ulterior motives, and it is what it is. They represent their world, they represent what they have, and are willing to share it with us. Queens are a little more stable, a little more sturdy, a little bit more well put together, and more rooted in their behaviors, more rooted in their actions, and a little less willing to budge, I guess. But while you are still a very sturdy individual and very strong and a very independent person, and even nurturing, this woman in this picture is, on a throne surrounded by children. So more nurturing, but still disengaged. And being connected with this Seven of Cups between the two of you and the Ace of Pentacles, perhaps you might be torn between something that you want for yourself, something that's coming into your life, and perhaps the pathway of this person or what that person represents. Maybe if this is someone new coming into your life, you might be having a difficult time seeing the beauty of their world, the beauty of who they truly are and what they do offer. And your worlds are quite different, and earth and water. Even colors are completely different, very blue, this is very green and yellow. And so just maybe not quite having your eyes open to that, and not recognizing that this person coming into your life, or this offering that your partner might be making, might truly... Oh, okay, sorry, there was my battery ran out. I forgot to plug in my camera. So anyway, maybe not truly recognizing that they are a reward. What they're offering truly is a reward for you. And you may be being a little bit blinded by that. Again, asking yourselves the questions, why is this coming into my life? Or I don't deserve it, or it's not what I was expecting, or that's not quite what I had in mind. That type of thing. But I see this tower here. A tower can represent many, many different things, and it really depends on the cards that it's surrounded by. Honestly, I see this as being like the method through which this person enters. Not the method, but the fact that this person may enter, if you're single and this is someone new coming into your life, that this is something that happens quite suddenly, that happens, again, unexpectedly, something that is quite obvious. And with the Six of Cups, again, connecting the Tower and the Page, it might be like a blast from the past. A blast from the past, someone that you have known for a long time, maybe someone that you haven't been connected with in a long time, that sort of resurfaces and is now all of a sudden making an offering or now asking you out on a date. And if you are in a relationship and this is your partner, it might be something that they bring to the table, whether it's a new like moving or a new career choice or whatever it is, something that really hits you quite hard, and or might be even related to children. I'm not, there's so many Leos out there, it's hard to generalize so much, but because this is the card of nostalgia, the card of children, the card of innocence, sixes are related to the Lovers in the major arcana, and the Lovers needs no explanation. And the Six of Cups representing that pure of heart with that soulmate level connection. And perhaps your partner really is bringing something to the table, not to shock you, not to confuse you, not to frustrate you, but from a very truthful place in their heart, as trying to, I'm sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. They're bringing something to the table that is true to them. It's something that they truly believe. It is coming from an innocent and kind and pure of heart place, but you might not perceive it that way. Let's say that. I'm sorry, I was having a hard time forming those words, but you might not see it that way. You might maybe see it as something a little bit more dramatic. You might see it as a little bit something more drastic as well. Maybe a change that they're proposing. They are, connected with the Tower. Their energy is in toward the Tower. But keep in mind, ultimately it might be a reward. Ultimately it is something good, but it might just be disguised as the Tower. It might just be disguised as something that seems unmanageable and really difficult to work through. But remember, the Tower is fleeting. It comes and goes quite quickly. It's not something that's going to completely shatter your entire world from this point forward. It's just a flash in the pan, a brief moment of shaky ground, and then that's it. And then you do stabilize. And even, here with the Four of Pentacles, you do stabilize, and you remain well grounded, and it's fine. And with the World here, this person is offering you the world. Here it is, the Circle, the cyclical nature of the Pentacle, the cyclical nature of the World, and the Pentacle. It's all tied together. And you are perhaps about to turn a new leaf, perhaps about to move into an entirely new phase, perhaps something perhaps something a little bit scary for you, and that's what's causing these sevens to come up, and you're maybe viewing it as something a little bit more dramatic than it actually is. But ultimately it will provide stability for you. It will provide really beautiful things, and it is worth moving forward. here you are looking back at the world and trying to run away, but yet you're still connected. You're still looking back. And while you were disconnected here in the beginning of the reading, oops, sorry, didn't mean to do that. While you are being a little bit disconnected here, ultimately I see you re-engaging, you know, and maybe coming to a realization that whatever this offer is, whatever this message is that you receive, this message that might seem like a huge deal really isn't, and really could be a new opportunity for you. It could truly be a reward and a new phase entering your life. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I feel like that was difficult for me to get through. I may have mentioned this in my last reading. I am not very good at articulating the thoughts that come into my mind. It's always been a struggle for me. So if I pause and it's annoying, I apologize. I just, sometimes I really just can't find the right words, and I have no idea what to say to match the pictures that are in my head. So English was my worst subject. I was better at math. So math was more logical. Okay, not so abstract. Okay, here we go. Two of Swords. Ah, so many choices for you. This is crazy. I mean, it seems like the choice really for you is how you respond, how you react to these things, and how you choose to view it. Do you choose to view it as something dramatic and something that's a really big deal, something that might cause an issue in your relationship, or something that might cause, you know, a potential relationship not to work out? Or do you choose to view it as something that provides opportunity and stability, and to view it as a reward? You really do have two opposing messages here, with the beautiful cards here, and with the Ace of the Pentacles and the Six of Cups in the World, and then, you know, the more, you know, difficult energies to deal with. So how do you choose to view it? How do you choose to deal with it? And we know you have the ability to look at the best, look at the bright side of any situation. And if this might be, you know, even a fight that happens in a relationship, or it could really just be like the way you see something. And it's just as simple as that. So let's go ahead and shuffle and do the general reading. There might be some different messages in there for you. So this is going to be a general reading for Leo for January 2016. Okay. General reading for Leo, January 2016. Whoops. Sorry about that. Do one more and then we'll draw. Seven of Wands. The High Priestess, another 2. Page of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, the 10 of Wands, Temperance, 3 of Wands, and the Hermit. Okay, again, while not as dramatic cards, you do have another 7, and I'll just go do this one first. So very similar, and a carrying over from the last reading. You know, the 7s again being that idea of opposition and dualities, and this one a more external force. Before you had mental and emotionals, and this is external. So people coming at you, you know, subjecting you to their opinions, telling you what they think about what you should do, even all elements, career, friends, family, whatever. And you protecting yourself, you guarding yourself, you being on guard and really defending your choices and defending your path. And there's nothing wrong with that. That being directly connected to the 2 of intuition, or the High Priestess, the 2 of the major arcana, the High Priestess, who is, again, similar to that 2 of Swords. The card, I call it the card of following your gut. The card of doing what you feel is right for you, of what you feel is in your best interest. And only you will know that, and only you will be able to act on that. And you know, I have the Hermit down here, which I like these cards together, because the Hermit, oops, I keep bumping it. The Hermit really is that card of introspection and taking a personal retreat, you know, stepping back, evaluating where we are and assessing our choices and assessing our bigger picture, our path for life in general. Where do we want to go? How do we want to get there? And that wisdom and that bigger picture truly setting, putting a light on the day-to-day decisions, where the day-to-day doesn't seem to be that big a deal when we have a big picture in mind, when we have an overall goal. And the intuition is where that wisdom comes from. The universe, our higher selves, what do we ultimately want out of our life? Okay, I've decided what that is, and I'm going to use that as a guide for my life and a guide for my decisions. And a guide for my relations with other people. Now, directly in the center of this reading, see, this should have been your love reading. This should have been the love one. You have your Ace of Cups in the center, which is a promise of new love, a promise of something entering your life. And it is entering. It is new, something new. So again, another page, the same energy as that Page of Pentacles in the last reading. Entering your life and making you a promise, making you an offer. Talking to you about, like I said, your goals and your hopes and your dreams, and deciding together how you want your life to be. And I see you as this Knight of Pentacles, and this time your energy is being reciprocated. You are giving back. You are engaged. And the promise of new love, the promise of a renewal of love, if it is an existing partner, comes to play. Now, you might be feeling a little bit of a burden here in regards to this new offer, being connected and completely squaring up this person, either a potential person or your partner, and this promise that they're making you, that the universe is giving you, similar to that Ace of Pentacles in the last reading. And again, that is a reward for who you are. It is a reward for everything that you've done. And while you may be struggling a little bit with some of these dualities, a little bit of confusion, a little bit of there's like the Seven of Swords energy in the last reading. It is a good, a beautiful promise, but you might be viewing it as a little bit of an obligation right now, just because you are still going through this hermit process. You are still evaluating and coming to terms with what you want, where you're going. You're setting your goals. As an independent individual, you need to do that. It's important for you to do that, and it makes you a better partner, makes you a stronger partner, more reliable than you already are. But sometimes it's difficult for us to give back when we are going through this process. Not saying that you won't, but just saying that you might view this new offer, this new promise, this new pathway with this person as just a little bit of an obligation while you're working things out on your own. But in terms of this, and again, I'm seeing this really carrying over the 7 energies from the last reading as well. I see you coming to a true balance, a true where your mind meets your head, your mind meets your heart. Finally, you reach that level of equilibrium, and I love that these are in a triangular pattern. And the 3 of Wands is directly here as well, because the 3s indicate birth and life and, breathing life into areas of your life where it did not exist before, and new opportunity, and embarking upon a new journey similar to the World that was in this same placement. So interesting that you have, the same types of energies coming over. So a meeting of the mind with your heart, an internal equilibrium, a balance through a period and a phase of introspection and reevaluation and assessment. New opportunities, new beginnings as well. New beginnings, and a promise of new love, of new levels of emotional fulfillment if it doesn't speak to you on a relationship level, and promise of new levels of emotional fulfillment. I'm going to take this one. The 5 of Wands. So again, this is that idea of competition and childlike battles, and again, empty battles a little bit. I see you struggling with having an open heart and being open-minded, and yet still, and allowing love to enter, but still maintaining your sense of identity, maintaining your sense of self, and really defining who you are and what your path needs to be, where you're headed, where you're going, and just causing a little bit of conflict perhaps with this person or with people around you. But nothing so severe, nothing that cannot be dealt with, nothing that can't be worked through, nothing that will scare somebody away. It's just might cause a little bit of tension, this defensiveness maybe, and the confusion, and the continuing questions and doubting can cause a little bit of tension, but again, not so big a deal. Nothing that this Ace of Cups cannot conquer. Nothing that this Hermit and Temperance and High Priestess cannot conquer. These are the stronger energies for you, even this Ace. This just an external extra information. Something to keep in mind. So Leo, I wish you the best of luck as you enter in this new year. Just stay true to who you are. I think that's the most important message for you, staying true to who you are, what you believe, and don't doubt the beautiful things that are coming into your life. Accept them. They are rewards for you being who you are, and for you living the life that you have chosen to live. And there's nothing wrong with that. You should be proud of it and willing to accept it. So I think those are the main messages for you. Again, nothing but the best of luck, and welcome to 2016. Looking forward to it.